The Enhanced Solutions Platform is a cloud-based service that makes it easy for you to capture how people in your enterprise get things done by helping you to build a process knowledge base. That lays the foundation for performance improvement. Once your process knowledge base is in place, you can start building any one of a number of performance improvement initiatives, and Enhance helps you with these initiatives as well. Let's list some of the most important ones. We like to place these initiatives into 5 broad categories. The first category is analysis and redesign. The second category is compliance. Knowledge management within a process framework is the third category. Direct support for business operations is the fourth. And finally, an area of activity that is currently of great interest, innovation. Let's focus on the particular set of initiatives that our upcoming tour of Enhance highlights. These are capturing and sharing institutional knowledge and lessons learned, as well as defining best practices. We also include training and operations guidance for employees and vendors. Enhance consists of 2 cloud-based software services: Design Analyst and Team Portal. Design Analyst is used by the people in your enterprise we call process owners. These are people responsible for the documentation, monitoring, maintenance, and improvement of your processes. All of their work goes into your knowledge base. Team Portal, on the other hand, is used by people we call process participants. These are the people who need to refer to the knowledge base to review, comment on, and approve processes, as well as those that need to refer to the knowledge base to guide their work. To illustrate support for the 4 performance improvement initiatives we selected, and to also demonstrate how different people utilize these 2 services, we're going to use a rather interesting demo. We're going to take a look at processing at the Kennedy Space Center in preparation for a launch of the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle and its supporting ground equipment have been described as one of, if not the most, complex systems ever created, and its processes are certainly among the most complex as well. Don't worry, we will be using highly simplified processes in this tour. In our tour, we're going to focus on 2 people. One is Tommy Technician, who is a NASA employee working at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. As his name suggests, he's a technician, and his job is to repair the turbopumps on the Space Shuttle main engines. He is an example of a process participant. The other person in this tour is Rocky Rocketdyne. Rocketdyne is the NASA contractor located in Southern California that designed the main engines of the Space Shuttle. Rocky is an engineer at Rocketdyne, and he is responsible for the documentation of the repair processes for the main engine turbopumps. He is an example of a process owner. Both Tommy and Rocky have access to Enhance. You can see from the diagram that they both share access to a common knowledge base. Don't be scared away by all this talk of main engines and turbopumps. Again, we are using very simple processes, and by the end of this tour, you'll be able to understand the benefits that Enhance delivers, whether you are a NASA engineer, a tomato paste processor, somebody responsible for processing a purchase order, or simply a new employee needing to be trained. Keep in mind that this tour is designed to give you a feel for just the 4 performance improvement initiatives we selected a moment ago. To start, let's assume that a space shuttle has just arrived back at Kennedy Space Center and that we are Tommy Technician. As Tommy, we recall that the turbopump repair process has just been modified by the contractor. Remember, that's Rocketdyne. So we are going to need to use Enhance to access the updated repair process. Let's go access Team Portal. As Tommy, we use our browser and begin on Team Portal's starting page. We need to view the updated repair process, and if we knew its name, we could access it directly through the Processes Group by Community Facility. However, we don't know the name of the updated process, so we will use what is known as a top-level roadmap and navigate our way to it. Let's start with the Shuttle Operations Overview process. As its name implies, this is a top-level view of what happens when a shuttle lands at the Kennedy Space Center. This top-level process gives us an opportunity to illustrate one of the various ways that a process can be visually presented in Enhance. Here, the process owner used a PowerPoint slide. You'll see some other examples in just a minute. We know that we work inside the Orbiter Processing Facility, so let's double-click on that part of the process. This is known as drilling down into a process to see more detail. We are now looking at the process named Process Orbiter in the OPF. That's the Orbiter Processing Facility. You can now see another form in which processes can be displayed. In this case, the process owner constructed the process from images and icons. From examining this process, we can see that first the shuttle lands, the payload is removed, the orbiter is examined, and then other examinations take place. In particular, we care about the examination of the three main engines. If maintenance is required, we follow the yes arrow and double-click on the process Perform Main Engine Maintenance. We are again drilling down into the next level of detail. Let's display this process in its original size so we can see it better. Since we work on the main engine, we immediately know that this is an image of a shuttle main engine. In particular, we know that this portion of the image is a turbopump. Continuing what we've been doing, we double-click on the turbopump in the image and drill down one final time. Here is our repair process. This will guide our work. Note that this process owner decided to present this process in the form of a flowchart. Let's start our repair work. Once the engine arrives in the repair shop, we follow the process, and at the appropriate places we ask various questions. Here we see that if the problem is in the pump section, we should follow the yes arrow, but in this case it's not, so we follow the no arrow. That leads us to ask the question, is the high-pressure fuel turbopump preburner okay? And in this case the answer is no, so we follow the path labeled no. We continue to use Team Portal to guide our work and execute various activities required to assess the problem and fix what is wrong. Let's focus on the activity named Replace Fuel Preburner Oxidizer Valve. Notice that this activity has an icon that looks like an open book. This icon indicates that one or more knowledge objects are attached to the activity. A knowledge object is additional information that the process owner anticipates we are going to need to be able to understand and perform the activity. We can see the list of knowledge objects attached to this activity by right-clicking on the activity. This activates a pop-up list of, in this case, 3 knowledge objects that were anticipated by the process owner to be helpful to us. The process owner was right. We need to see the temperature sensor blueprint so that we can remove and replace a defective sensor. We click in the list on that knowledge object, and a second browser tab opens where we see the blueprint. This is very helpful for us because it shows us exactly what we need to know to perform the activity. Enhance allows process owners to deliver the right information at the right place at the right time. Let's close the browser tab and return to our repair process. Everything so far has been very helpful in performing our job, but we realize that we need to calibrate that replacement temperature sensor, and we don't have any information on how to do that. If we right-click again on the activity, we discover another very useful feature. It would be helpful to know who is responsible for this activity. We can obtain that information by choosing Show Owner Information. Owner information is available not just for the activity itself, but also for the owners of the 3 knowledge objects that are attached. Let's discover who owns this activity. Well, we learned that this activity is owned by Rocky Rocketdyne at Rocketdyne in Southern California, along with his contact information. At this point, we decide that we need to send Rocky a request that additional instructions be provided that tells us how to calibrate this temperature sensor. Let's select Send Feedback. And a feedback email form pops up that's been preloaded with all the necessary information so that Rocky knows exactly which activity we are referring to. All we need to do is add our specific request and send the email. Now that we have sent a request for additional instructions to Rocky, let's stop playing the role of Rocky and go see what Rocky can do once he receives that request. So, that is, we're going to temporarily set Tommy aside and assume the role of Rocky. Recall that Rocky is a process owner, so as Rocky, we'll use the Design Analyst service, and it turns out that our job is quite simple. We received a request from Tommy asking for instructions to calibrate that replacement temperature sensor. After thinking about it, we realized that the best way to do that would be to add an additional knowledge object to the activity. And the best form of knowledge object would be a short video clip showing exactly how to do the calibration. So let's ask an associate to go down to the lab and record a short video demonstrating how to do the calibration. Let's assume our associate has come back and said that not only has the video clip been created, but it has also been added as a new knowledge object in the knowledge base. Our job is now very quick and easy. Unlike Tommy, we know the name of the updated repair process because we own it. So instead of navigating from a top-level roadmap, we can jump right to the process. Looking under Communities and Roadmaps, we locate the community of users to which we belong, Engineering at Rocketdyne. We open that community's list of processes and scan down to find our process, which is named Repair High Pressure Fuel Turbo Pump. Double-click, and Design Analyst opens that process. This should look familiar. This is the same process Tommy was working with, although since we are using the Design Analyst service, we have additional facilities available to us that weren't available to Tommy. The request Tommy sent us was loaded with all sorts of helpful information and in particular named the activity in question, which is right here. All we have to do is add the new knowledge object to this activity. To do this, we right-click on the activity to see this pop up. Before we assign the new knowledge object to this activity, notice that there are 3 knowledge objects already assigned. These might look familiar because they are the 3 that were available to Tommy a few minutes ago back in Florida. To add the new knowledge object, we select the Data Properties item and then we choose the Knowledge Objects tab. Here we see a list of all the knowledge objects that are available to us. There are several classes of knowledge objects, and a video clip will be in the File class. We open that folder and scan the list to locate the temperature sensor calibration video clip. Click and drag it over to the list of knowledge objects assigned to this activity. Note the 3 knowledge objects that are already there. It's as easy as that. Just to be safe, we'll take a final look. Right-click again, and now there should be 4 knowledge objects. Here's the knowledge object that we just added. At this point, all we have to do is save this updated process and notify Tommy that his request has been fulfilled. We're done, so let's stop playing the role of Rocky and return to playing the role of Tommy for one last quick look. Okay, we're back at the Kennedy Space Center as Tommy, and we've just learned that Rocky has fulfilled our request. Let's refresh the process to get the updates. Right-click on the activity, and note that we now have 4 knowledge objects. Here is the new knowledge object just added by Rocky. Click to select it, and we learned that Rocky created a video for us to watch.
To calibrate the temperature sensor, we take the connector and insert it into the back of the calibration unit. and we looked for a value between 330 and 332 units, plus or minus 1%. It's very important to leave the temperature probe out in the ambient temperature for at least 60 seconds to guarantee a good reading and stability.
Now we know how to calibrate the replacement temperature sensor. Congratulations on completing the repairs on this main engine. Your repaired engine is ready for launch.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
Thanks for watching. Keep in mind that this tour was focused on just 4 of the many performance improvement initiatives you can launch with Enhance. Invest a few minutes and learn more about the Enhance Solutions platform and consider taking the free trial. This can be your first step towards launching your own performance improvement initiatives.